Okay, Donna and Kelly, the talented duo behind Still on the Hill, have long brought their creative passion and heart to our mission. And as devoted members of the Ozark Chinquapin board, they serve as the educational outreach team for many years, and they have inspired countless people with their music and their deep love for nature. And let's see, avid birders and naturalists, Kelly and Donna are especially passionate about Ozark Chinquapin trees. Their dedication to raising awareness is shown through their original music, including a song honoring the Ozark Chinquapin tree, performed on a mountain dulcimer crafted from Ozark Chinquapin wood. And this year, they're back again. Glad to have them, because last year they weren't in person. And their heartfelt songs continue to use their gifts to connect with people, with the natural world, and share the story of this incredible tree. So thank you all very much. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. And thank everybody. And we are going to play you that Chinquapin song in a minute here, but we got a couple others we want to share with you.
I have my low-tech PowerPoint too.
Our PowerPoint never fails. It's very reliable.
Unless it's upside down.
Yeah. So this gentleman is Jesse Jones, and he lived on Highway 23, which is known as the Pig Trail, in a little community called Cass. And so we met this gentleman when he was 95 years old, and he told us a bunch of stories. And we're going to play you we wrote a bunch of songs based on his stories. In fact, we have 5 songs based on Jesse Jones' stories, and this is one of my favorites. And the reason we chose this because it's kind of I think it has a very subtle message about the resilience of nature and the ability for nature to come back and reclaim what's gone. And it makes me think about the Chinquapin a little bit. So
it's called Everything Changes.
Jesse took us to the mountain, to an overhanging ledge. Said there once was a town down below, once alive and thriving, well, that green valley, now there's hardly a remnant of a road. Over there, he said, a wooden church once stood. I imagined a graveyard in the back, and out in the left, where that used to be a sawmill, right next to a long-gone railroad track. Grapevine, brambles, time rearranges, empires fall. Changes. All that's left of that valley is an old stone chimney, somebody's long forgotten home. Everything else was either burned to the ground, got buried, or somehow overgrown. The blacksmith shop and the old county jail, who could have known those days would end? And out in the schoolyard, well, the voices of children are now only echoes in the wind. Grapevine, brambles, time rearranges, empires fall. Changes. 1, 2, 3. Not a man of very many words, he would rather show than tell. Without a word spoken, will he let them out and teach me lesson that I have learned so well. Grapevine brambles, time rearranges, empires fall, and everything changes, everything changes. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Well, so we're going to switch gears here. We brought some show and tell to share with you. Give me, yeah, hardcore.
I have another PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever heard of Hog Scald Holler?
Yep.
It's near Eureka Springs.
It's not really a town. It's more like just an area. It's quite isolated down in a holler, and it's a beautiful outcropping. It's a stream that is made of solid limestone, and it's carved out over time into little pools. And some of these pools are about the size of a bathtub. And so that's why it's called Hog Scald Holler. Okay, that's not just a silly name. In the old days, and they say maybe Native Americans and certainly Civil War troops were using it for this, they would divert the water temporarily from one of the pools. And then they would take a big boulder and heat it up in a fire, and then they'd push the little boulder, the big boulder, into the little pool, and they would scald the hair off the hogs.
Yeah, Hog Scald Holler.
So, and we have the show and tell part of this. This is a very, very important and beautiful piece of folk art, I think. And it's from Arkansas. This is from Hog Scald Holler, actually. Incidentally, his driveway was Hog Scald Holler. I mean, his driveway ran out, and right across the street was the scald you saw on the picture. And this gentleman, he passed away about 3 years ago, but he came to our attention 30 years ago. And the reason is because he made over 200 instruments such as this and gave every single one of them to a child. Yeah. And he was a devotional folk artist. He always wrote the same thing on every one of them. It says, true faith, true light, have faith in God. And each one is unique, though. This one, for the inside, well, hold that x-ray up. We took this to the doctor.
Oh, I don't have it.
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the x-ray. Okay, but inside there's a pot lid and a saw blade and a door spring and a couple more door springs.
And apparently at Hog Scald Holler, all around that area, there were a whole bunch of Chinquapins. So we talk about Chinquapins in this song.
This song it mentions Chinquapin. It's not about Chinquapins. More about Hog Scald Holler, but and you'll get a chance to hear this very strange, very crude instrument, but I think very precious because it embodies the kind of the resourcefulness of old timers in the Ozarks, to figure out how to make something out of nothing, basically. This is just a bunch of scrap wood, and odds and ends. You ready? It's a little hard to hold this thing up.
It weighs 100 pounds.
It doesn't really have a strap. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hogs are getting fat on the Chinquapin nuts. So are the squirrel and the deer. Call them hogs down from the hills. Butchering time is near. Butchering time is near. At Hog Scald Holler, the neighbors gather down by the flowing creek, where carved out holes in the limestone rocks are 6 feet wide and deep. Get a fire going, make sure it's good and hot. Use last year's dried oak logs. Heat up boulders, roll them in the pools. Scald the hair off the hogs. Scald the hair off the hogs.
Suey pig pig, suey pig pig, suey pig
never stop till the lard is thick and white as snow and the cracklings float to the top. Cracklings float to the top.
Mincemeat, head cheese, pickled feet, nothing's ever wasted. Sausage made from the mouth and the tongue, best you've ever tasted.
When the sun is setting and the butchering is done, time to cure the fresh meat. Rub it till it's thick with sugar and salt. Ham and bacon in the spring. Ham and bacon in the spring.
Sweet pig, pig, sweet pig, pig, sweet pig.
Chinquapin nuts, critters couldn't eat them all. Feel the smokehouse cool as a tick, butchering time in the fall. Hog skull holler in the fall.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's a kind of a difficult verse for lifelong vegetarians.
Head cheese, pickled feet,
You actually have to.
jowls and
You
tongue.
have to take a Rolaids first before you go on stage. No, we do want to. It's kind of an annual thing for us to play our Chinquapin song that we wrote a good while ago now, and we were so thrilled. One of the most exciting things that ever happened to us as musicians was being presented this Chinquapin dulcimer. It was made by a gentleman named Mike Holmes in Missouri, and I think Eddie actually prepared the wood for this. Is that right? Yeah. And so it's just.
It's got the sound holes are little Chinquapin leaves. So cute.
And this song came about, over the years at these various presentations we've made over the years. Oftentimes we'll have some of our elders have a testimony about their memories of the Chinquapin from, say, the 1950s or so. I kind of missed the boat. I was born in 1959. They were pretty much gone, by the time I came around. But we took some of those anecdotal stories, you might say, from 3 different storytellers and turned it into this song.
And when we finish this song, we have a short little ender that's going to be a surprise.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm really pleased with George Emery back there. George, give me a wave. There's George. I really want to thank George for what he's done. That display of the log cabin is George's creation. And it's, of course, all made from Chinquapin wood, and it's still growing as we speak. And one of my favorite little components of it is the casket. Did you notice there's
a little coffin.
There's a little coffin made out of Chinquapin. All right?
And you'll see why in the song.
I have a feeling that has something to do with this song. Well, you'll have to ask George, All right, here we go. 3, 4. Grandpa carved my daddy's cradle from an Ozark Chinquapin. Said that would outlast both me and him. He said, son, take that wood someday, make a coffin for me. From the cradle to the grave, the Ozark Chinquapin tree, the Ozark Chinquapin tree. Grandpa tells a story about Lucy Nell, his wife. She had a bad case of whooping cough that nearly took her life. Grandpa learned a remedy from an old Cherokee and cured her with a teacher made of Chinquapin leaves. Grandpa carved my daddy's cradle from an Ozark Chinquapin tree, the Ozark Chinquapin tree. Grandpa says when times were tough, we could count on that old tree. Fighting off squirrels, we'd gather nuts to feed our family. And to keep them pods from poking you, us kids would whack 'em with a shoe and fill a pail in our pockets too, and eat 'em all the way to school. Grandpa carved my daddy's cradle off the Ozark Chinquapin, said that would outlast both me and him. He said, son, take that wood someday, make a coffin for me. From the cradle to the grave, the Ozark Chinquapin tree, the Ozark Chinquapin tree. Grandpa was a trickster until the day that he died. He knew when a fire Chinquapin explodes like the 4th of July. Grandpa was cremated in a coffin that I made him, and it was just like fireworks when the last spark faded. Grandpa carved my daddy's cradle from the Ozark Chinquapin, said that would outlast both me and him. He said, son, take that wood someday, make a coffin for me. From the cradle to the grave, the Ozark Chinquapin tree, the Ozark Chinquapin tree. That's very nice. You know, what a lovely thing it has to be a part of this organization for some, I think 12 years. I don't know, we've lost count, but we just really, it's become a very important part of our world, and we're very thankful for everybody here keeping this mission alive. This is, you know, of all the environmental battles that we have, you know, we get so used to losing. And this is winning.
Yay!
It's winning. It's actually happening. And it's just so, it does the heart look good, you know.
So we want to, Tara Fondriest, I said it right, is our photographer this year, and she's awesome, and she is a world-class clogger. She's going to Nashville with her kids, and they're going to compete in the international clog. And so we thought it'd be really fun to play a little bit of an instrumental, let her do a little clogging to finish up.
We kind of twisted her arm.
Well, I was thinking, you know, since it's like an Ozark thing, like culture and everything, if you wanted to try it too, so I'm not the only one here. There's like a couple easy steps you can do. You know, it's like you could just kind of step to the beat, and that's like the beginning of jig dancing, you know, or you could like step, rock, step, which is kind of like the polka, which I grew up doing. Or there's the, you could just kick in place, and when you get to clog and you try like the drag slide, which a kick becomes a little more exciting and stuff. So if you want to stand up, it's like, it might
Work off the lunch, work off the
Even if we don't dance, we could stand up so you're not the only one standing.
It's subtle. You can be subtle, you know. All right, well, okay. Let's just do it. Come on. Come on.